Hey y'all, before we jump into today's vlog, I want to tell you about an amazing sale that GREENSTALK is having. They are having a warehouse sale that starts tomorrow if you're on their email list, September the 30th. If you're not on the email list, then it starts Wednesday for the general public. But go ahead and get on the email list. Y'all, this warehouse sale, all the colors, every color they've ever done is coming back. So if there was a color that you had your eye on and you did not get, this is the time to get it. The warehouse sale, you're gonna have sales 20% off all the way up to 60% off. Some colors will be 60% off. This is your time to get it. Plus, there are going to be a ton of colors, I think 4 or 5, that are permanently retiring. That means if you don't get it on this sale, you're never going to have the chance to get that color again. So if you're not on GREENSTALK's email list, go to greenstalkgarden.com and sign up. And then also remember to use my code tomorrow when the warehouse sale drops. My code is LFF10. Don't miss this sale. Now, go watch this vlog. You're not going to want to miss it. Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. If you have struggled with growing carrots and have thought, man, I never can grow big, beautiful carrots, then this is the video for you. Because in this video, I'm going to walk you step by step on how to grow amazing, big carrots. So definitely make sure that you stay tuned for this video, and I'm going to walk it through all the way down step by step. If you're brand new here, my name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee. We're in Zone 7B, and on this channel we talk about all things gardening, homesteading, DIY, cooking from scratch, food preservation, and a lot of gardening content. And so as you can see, I've already been working out in the garden today. You can already see that I have already worked up a sweat. I've been planting out some more fall crops, and so one of the fall crops we're going to do today is carrots, and I wanted to do this video step by step. I've talked about this a few different times on my channel, but I want to create a video that's a one-stop shop for you that you can go to and say, okay, this is how I plant carrots and this is what I do. Now, one of the things I'm going to say up front is that in order for you to have successful carrots, I want you to pay attention and listen to every step that I give you when it comes to carrots. You cannot do steps 2 and 5 and then come back and say, Barbara, it didn't work. I want you to do every step because that is exactly how I learned how to do carrots. So in my first 2 years of gardening, my carrots were pitiful. They looked like pencils, and I could not figure out why I could not grow carrots. I thought, well, maybe it's a variety thing. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's my soil. But in essence, it's that I just didn't know what to do. And that's the same thing when it comes to any gardening thing that you grow. Some things are easier to grow than others. Some are a little bit more particular. And carrots to me are one of those things that is not hard to grow, but you do have to know what to do in order to get successful carrots. And so for the last 3 years, I have been growing carrots that look like Bugs Bunny carrots and not pencil carrots. And I also am able to store my carrots for up to a year. And so I have carrots every day of the year at my disposal in my refrigerator. You may think, how is that possible? I'm going to tell you exactly how it's possible. I did a whole video on how to store carrots for up to a year. But on this video, let's talk about first how to grow carrots. Now, there's 2 things that I want to start with, and that's about the different varieties of carrots. Now, for me, you're going to see me grow one variety today because after 5 years of gardening, I have honed in on the variety that I like best. And I'm going to tell you why I like it, and then you can choose to use that variety or not, but the principles are going to be the same. Okay, so there's 2 different kinds of carrot. There are your regular carrot seeds. You've seen them out there, different varieties. And then there are pelleted carrot seeds. I grow a pelleted carrot variety called Bolero, which is from Johnny's Seed. Now, I choose the variety Bolero because it is a great storage carrot. And so one of the things, I grow carrots twice a year, in the spring and in the fall. And I have carrots literally 365 days a year. There is never a time that I don't have carrots in my refrigerator at my disposal to use, because I grow enough carrots to last me for the year by planting those 2 times, and I store them in the proper way so that they will last. They don't go bad. I literally, y'all, just took a salad to church the other day, and I used carrots from my refrigerator that you and I harvested together back in January. Literally, y'all, back in January. They were still crunchy. They were still crispy. Nobody knew that those carrots were harvested in January because I know how to properly store and take care of the carrots. But first, in order to grow successful carrots, figure out which variety you're going to do. Now, if you're looking to have carrots that are going to be stored for a long time, you need to make sure that you find a good storage variety. All carrots do not store well for 6 months, 9 months, up to a year. But the Bolero variety stores really, really well. And there are a couple of other varieties. The Napoli stores very well. And I think the, not Dante's? Danvers, I think is a good storage carrot. I have done those before, but I prefer Bolero. Now, you will also see there are other carrots out there that are like rainbow carrots, cute carrots. There's one, I think it's called Cosmic Purple. I've done that one before too. It is great for looks. It is beautiful. It's like purple on the outside and orange on the inside. It's absolutely beautiful. But in terms of being prolific and growing a ton, I have not had that experience. And so I always grow Bolero. And then in the spring, after I've kind of had my big fall crop of carrots, I may experiment with some other varieties, because at that point, I'm really just adding extra. I'm not building up my stock, if that makes sense. Okay. So the difference between regular carrot seed and pelleted seed. Let's talk a little bit about that. So the main difference between a regular carrot seed and a pelleted carrot seed is that regular carrot seeds are very, very tiny. It is hard to pick up one individual carrot seed, versus when you buy pelleted seed, they have a coating on it. And I'm going to show you right here. You can see what it looks like. That is a carrot seed. It has an inorganic coating on it that is still organic. It's not anything bad for you, but they put the coating on it and it makes it easier to sow carrot seeds individually, okay, instead of what we call broadcast sowing. So when you have regular carrot seeds, because they are so tiny, you do what we call broadcast sow. So that basically you are going to just throw your hand out and throw them all like in a line. That's what we call broadcast sowing. That means is that you have several carrot seeds all together. They're not individually placed. So think about when you're doing an individual transplant, like you have a transplant of lettuce and then another transplant of lettuce that you space 6 inches apart. But when it comes to regular carrot seed, you cannot do that because the seeds are too small. So you broadcast sow them, right? Here is the mistake that most people make, is that they broadcast sow their carrot seeds and they may have germination, but they don't go back and thin their seeds out. So carrots are a root crop, meaning it grows below the ground. It is a root. You're actually eating the root of the carrot. If you do not go back and thin your seeds, your seedlings out, what happens is you're going to grow carrots that are like pencils. Why? Because they don't have enough room to grow. And so when it comes to thinning out your carrot seedlings, you want to, when your carrots get to about a couple of inches high, you want to, and you remember, they're going to be all together, all like jumbled up in one line because you've broadcast sow. You have to go back and thin them out. And so a good rule of thumb is to take maybe 2 to 3 fingers, whatever that may be, let's say a couple of inches, put that in between your carrots and take out everything that your fingers touch. So if all the carrots are together, you want to leave at least a 2 to 3 inch spacing between the carrots. That's going to give the carrots room to grow. You're going to thin your carrots at the base of the carrot plant, right? And that way, when you get done thinning, you're going to have your carrots, but instead of them all being jumbled up in a line, they're going to be individually spaced because you have taken out the seedlings in between. That is called thinning out your carrots. That is going to allow your carrots room and space to grow and to bulb up so that you have Bugs Bunny carrots and not pencil stick carrots. That is the number one reason why most people fail when it comes to carrots. Now, for me, I prefer not to thin out, right? Because one, sometimes I've forgotten to thin out and I've waited too long and the carrots are already too tall. And so it just makes it a mess. And then I just don't like having that extra step. But if you want to grow the variety that you want to grow and it doesn't come in pelleted, then you're going to have to thin them out. All varieties do not come in pelleted seeds, and Johnny's is the only one that I know that carries a pelleted seed, okay? So if you want to be just like me, then you'll get the Bolero variety at Johnny's that's pelleted. If you don't want to grow the pelleted seed, that is a-okay, but just know you're going to have to thin it out. Now for me, when we get ready to dig our carrots, we're going to dig a trench and we're going to place one individual seed at a time. I can do that because my seeds are pelleted. So let's go over to the bed. that we've already amended. It is ready to go, and we're going to plant the carrot seed. I'm going to show you how I plant the pelleted seed, how far apart, and then I'm going to talk about the next step, which is critical to get your carrots to germinate. So before you plant carrots, figure out where you're going to put it and make sure that you're planting them in soil that has been amended, meaning that you've put in some nutrients, and make sure that your soil is loose and not compacted. You're going to dig a shallow trench, and then you're just going to sow your carrot seeds. For me, because they're pelleted, I'm actually going to place my carrot seeds about 2 to 3 inches apart in this row. If you were broadcast sowing, then you would just take your hand and broadcast all the seeds in this shallow trench, and then you're just going to cover it up and water it in. Okay, y'all, I got my carrots planted. So let me kind of walk you through even more specifically about what I did. So I dug a small, shallow trench, and I placed my carrot seeds, the pelleted seeds, about 2 inches apart. I just eyeballed it. So think about if you are doing non-pelleted seed and you have to go back and thin them out to 2 inches in between each carrot, then I'm going to plant mine 2 inches apart. So I just placed a couple of seeds every 2 inches apart. Because these seeds are 90% germination, I went ahead and just planted 2 in each area. And so the next thing I'm going to do is water it in. This is one of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to carrots and why they don't have germination. Okay, so we first talked about why your carrots are small if you did get germination. Now, if you don't get germination, here is probably the culprit, is that you are not watering enough. Carrots need to be watered until they germinate, like every single day. Every single day. Now for me, I've done this several times. Usually I do not see carrots until day 7. They take usually 7 days for me to see germination, but every single day I come out here and I overhead water, even though, as you can see, I have drip. That is not enough. Right? If I just leave these carrots in here and just let the drip happen, it is not enough. You have to come out and overhead water your carrots every single day until you see germination. That is why most people do not see germination. Now, another thing that people do is that sometimes they will lay cardboard over their carrot seeds, especially if they're doing them outside, because sometimes the birds can come and eat your carrot seeds or pests, and you want to come and protect it. Now, I've never done that method before, and I've never had an issue in here with my carrot seeds, but if you normally use cardboard, that's fine. You still need to water. So every single day for 7 days, or until I see germination, I will come out here and water, and then I will start to see germination, and then I can just let the drip do its thing. But overhead water is key to carrots germinating. Now, the other thing when it comes to carrots is, remember, it is a root crop. So you need to make sure that you have loose soil. If your soil is compacted, you need to add some organic matter like compost to loosen your soil up. So before this video, what I did was, and how I've amended all my beds, I talked about it on the video last week, is I added in some worm castings, I added in some feather meal, and I specifically added in a product called Trifecta, which is great for root development. It is I think a 410-4, something like that. I showed it on last week's video. It is from M.I. Gardner. Any product that is for phosphorus, so it could be bone meal, will be a great thing to add to any bed where you're going to be doing root crops like carrots, radishes, beets, and things like that, because it's going to need it, and phosphorus is good for root development. So I made sure that the soil was amended and had new nutrients, specifically something high in phosphorus, and then I added a layer of compost. So I've planted my seed, and now I'm going to water it in. Now, before I put the seed in, I had already dampened the bed, but now we're going to water in the carrot seed very, very well. Okay, so I got them all watered in very, very well. And so I did 2.5 rows of carrots. I'm actually going to do some companion planting in the bed. I've done it where I've done all of the bed as carrots before. I did that last year. It works well. I've interplanted before with radish. I've interplanted with cilantro. I've done all the things. So carrot is a great companion plant because it can companion plant with many things. It can companion plant with lettuce, radish, beets, dill, parsley, marigolds, nasturtiums, chives, cilantro, onions. Like, it is a great all-around companion plant. And so you can maximize your space in the bed. So I did 2 full rows of carrots, and then I did a 3rd row that's half carrots and then half watermelon radish. I ran out of carrot seeds. I have another pack somewhere, but I don't know where it is. But that's fine, because I'm going to put carrots in some other places throughout the beds as well. And so that'll be just fine. And I can always get more carrot seed. So that'll be fine as well. But then I have 1 extra space here that I can companion plant, and I'm going to add in some other stuff into the bed. I've tried with this fall crop is to really even intensify my companion planting. If you don't know what companion planting is, it's just kind of what it says. You're planting other things except one monogamous crop. You're going to plant multiple things in the bed. Companion planting helps with your biodiversity of your soil. It also helps to repel pests, and it overall helps the nutrient quality or density of your soil. And so you definitely want to get away from planting what I call monogamously, like just have one crop full of everything, but add in other things. And so what I try to do in every bed is to have at least a vegetable, an herb, and a flower. In the fall, sometimes that can be kind of difficult because I don't have as many flowers as I do in the summer. But my flowers that I'm doing for the fall are calendula, alyssum, and violas. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to add some calendulas to this bed, and let me see what else I have that I can add that's already down here. So I companion planted some calendula, some lettuce, and some cilantro in that middle row, and then I'll have the carrots and the radishes kind of growing up behind it. I still have some more space where I can put some more stuff on the other side of one of those drip lines. So I'll probably do maybe some daikon radish or some more carrots on that other side when I go find my other pack of carrots. But you get the gist, y'all. It's just like that. It's simple, but you do have to pay attention to some particular things. One, you have to thin your seedlings out if you're not using the pelleted variety. Once you broadcast your seeds, let them get to 2 to 4 inches and then thin them out. And the other thing is, if you're having problems with germination, you have to water it every single day, overhead water, even if you're using drip, even if you're using cardboard and all of that. But those are the keys to get good carrots that are big and beautiful. If you want to know, once you harvest your carrots, how to keep them for a year, I'm going to pop the video up here. You can go take a look at this video that I did last year. And in the video, I show you carrots that was almost a year old and they still look good. But that video will explain to you exactly how to store your carrots so that you can pull from them all throughout the year up to literally, y'all, 12 months. So I hope that this video helps. I want this to be like a resource video that you can go to time and time again to show you exactly how to plant carrots. If there is something that I didn't cover or something that did not make sense, put your question down below. Let's make sure that this fall, everybody who wants to grow carrots can grow carrots, okay? If you have not subscribed to this channel, I would love for you to subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. And remember, y'all, this is all a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.